morning, good afternoon, good evening. Ever since Comrade Blessed Geza and a few of his fellow war veterans came out and publicly called for Mnangagwa to resign, the nation has been on tender hooks. This was not the first time that war veterans have come out and denounced the sitting dictator and demanded that he should leave office. This was just a repeat of what happened in 2017. And that led to the military coup, which ultimately forced Mugabe to step down. And so the nation has been on tender hooks, expecting the same thing to happen. Comrade Geza has promised ordinary people that he would give the signal for them to come out. In 2017, the military deployed the tankers and so forth on the 15th of November. And on the 16th, they were arguing, for those who organized it, were arguing the people to get out onto the street to demand Mugabe's resignation. And the people did come out, and there are hundreds of thousands. And unlike other public protests by the ordinary people, neither the army nor the police reacted. So it was one of those few occasions where members of the public joined in a public protest with no consequences. The nation is being told by Comrade Geza and Company that they're waiting to give the signal for the people to come out. And they are waiting because they want to make sure that people will be safe. Commendable position, one would say. Here is one of the group, Nyokayamabhunu, explaining that very issue of public safety.
Tinofana kumachua politics kuibva chako chako mune zvematongerwo enyika. Ziva pawakatangirawo pane zvematongerwo enyika wodzidza, because politics munosangana zvakasiyana siyana. Izvozvo zvaunosangana nazvo mupolitics zvinoita kuti uibve mune zvematongerwo enyika umachuwawo. Because nyaya dzine chekuita nedemonstration idzi, demonstration haiite success nenyaya dzema-emotions. Asi zvinopa kuti demonstration iite successful. It's about strategy. This thing needs intelligence. Chinhu chatakatarisana nacho ichi achisi chinhu chokungofunga mbamako wafunga uda kutsvaga mari kuna Britain zvatukuona zvikuita nevamwe zvokuti vari kuda kumuvha ma-emotion izvo vanenge vakatora mari dzevanhu vachinyepera vanhu kuti tichazoita demonstration musi wakati tichadaiwa mari dzevanhu kuna Britain zvimwe zvakadzi zvinoshamisira musocial media zvotora mari dzevanhu kuzvapa pressure manje nenyaya yezvinhu zvokuti haazi ma-politicians. They are there in politics kuti vatsvage mari vawane kurarama, vashandi havana chavanoita, basa ravo nderongogadzira zvimagroup vachingoda kudengena. Look, this struggle haizi mahumbwe. Struggle iyi ndeyekusunungura vana veZimbabwe. Demonstration iyi haina munhu akaironga kunze pano, ende ndaironga ndandine ma-advice, ndandine guidance. I know where my power is coming from when I'm doing this. I'm not alone. So koita vamwewo vanzwa kuti tiri kupa directive yekuti vanhu gadzirirai kunofanira kupindwa murodhi. Vauya zvino vakuda kugadzira zvavo, vada kuzotanga vari mahwani vachipiwa mari vachiisa muhomwe, toda kuzoita press conference, toda kuzotsvaka vapota vachipiwa mari nevanhu. Isi takataura takati hatisi kuda mari dzevanhu. Chatiri kuda, tiri kuda simba revanhu. Kana tagadzirisa zvinhu vanhu vouya kupinda murodhi. Haugone kutinhira vanhu murodhi usina protection nevanhu. Zvatiri kuona zviri kuitwa nevamwe vari kungonyora tumastika tusane basa rese. Nditeerei ndikuratidzei kuNew Zimbabwe, kwete kuita nhodzerwa imi muri vanhukadzi musina chamunoziva. Hamuna directive, hamuna endgame yechinichi, hamuna chamuri kuziva. Munoita nhodzerwa moti navanhu mumagroup mumastreet mevabva vanopfurwa, mangwana vanodzoka kwauri. Vaziva here kuti kana uri leader anoziva zvaanoita. Before wapa decision, unofanira kuita make sure kuti vanhu vacho vauda kutinhira mastreet vari protected here. Ndo chekutanga post nekuti upenyu hwemunhu hwakakosha. Yes, we know it's a struggle, but hadzizi hondo dzese dzinorwiwa nepfuti. Pane dzimwe hondo dzinorwiwa nebrain. Saka vamwe vanzwa kuti Nyokayamabhunu adedzera ninge vakugadzira zvimaningi zvavo. Nyokayamabhunu anopenga ari kuti ngatiendei ku31 ngati we know and takagara pasi pamusoro pechinichi. Mazinzwisisa. And ending game yechinichi, I know what is going to happen. Geza ari kuziva what is going to happen about this thing. We know it's a done deal. Saka musaite nhodzerwa muchida kutumirwa mari kunana Britain uko nenyaya dzekuonererwa masocial media muchita kuti maningi tusane basa rese imi vamwe vakadzi makutaura zvimwe zvinhu tusane basa rese.
Well, we'll stop it there. I think it is commendable that he is putting a lot of emphasis on making sure that the public will be protected on the day when they should call out this public demonstration. I think Zimbabwe, any Zimbabwean who has followed this, the history of the country would know that there's often been violence whenever there is a public protest that is not organized by the regime. And in this particular case, a faction which is against the ruling faction would be considered to be organized by the opposition. So there is a chance that there could be violence here. And so it is commendable that Geza and his colleagues are taking that issue very seriously. However, one cannot also fail to raise the point when he says he knows the end game. Well, the begging question is, what is the end game? What is the end game? We have seen this happen in 2017. What was the end game then? All we saw was Mugabe being forced out of office and replaced by Mnangagwa. Although Geza and others did not play a prominent role in the 2017, one has got to assume, since they are senior members of the party, Zanu PF, they must have played a significant role since 1980 to 2017 in imposing Mugabe as a dictator. People like Mnangagwa VP Chiwenga himself, they have played a significant role in the creation and imposition of the Zanu PF one-party dictatorship over all these years. So it was only 2017 that a faction of Zanu PF got tired of Mugabe and wanted him out. What was the end game? To replace Mugabe with Mnangagwa. One wants also to know what role did Geza and company play in the imposition of Mnangagwa in 2017 to date. It is no secret that Mnangagwa blatantly rigged the 2023 elections, just as he rigged the 2018 elections. It is no secret that senior members of Zanu PF have all of them played a role in the rigging of elections in Zimbabwe. So what did our friend Geza and Nyokayamabhunu play in the rigging of elections? The other question that must be asked is, Geza, as much as he has said in the past, one can assume that he still has the same plan, that he wants to see VP Chiwenga become the Zanu PF presidential candidate. He said it repeatedly. He doesn't want Mnangagwa to stay in power beyond 2028. He wants VP Chiwenga to take over. If VP Chiwenga was to become the Zanu PF candidate for 2028, can Geza and Nyokayamabhunu and the rest of the gang assure the nation that 2028 elections will be free, fair, and credible, and not just another rerun of rigged elections of the past? We cannot pretend that what we are seeing here is a repeat of the same foolishness of the past. As a people, we have to learn from the past. And clearly we have not learned here. If we are going to be told to go out in the street to protest and demand that Mnangagwa should go, one has got to ask, is this now part of our political system, where every time we want to change a leader, it has got to be by street protests? We cannot achieve it by having free, fair, and credible elections, because there are no free, fair, and credible elections. Mnangagwa blatantly rigged 2023 elections, and Geza and company said absolutely nothing. And he rigged 2018 elections. Geza and company again said nothing. And we can go back to Mugabe's days. they again and again failed to say this is not right. We have got to accept that the system we have has failed. We have got to accept that what Geza and company are offering to swap one dictator for another is not solving the country's problems. Zimbabwe is a failed state because we've been stuck with a corrupt, incompetent, and tyrannical regime. Swapping one dictator for another has failed to stamp out corruption and gross mismanagement, because those are the essential qualities of the dictatorship itself. And that is what we should be addressing. As much as Geza and company are being very considerate and taking care of the issue of the safety of the public when the signal comes out for them to go onto the street to demand Mnangagwa's resignation, I still say to the people of Zimbabwe, you should be aware of the sheer insanity of the present political system. The problem is not so much the individual dictator of the day, but the system itself. And if you seriously think to change the dictator, you change the system, you are being naive. The corruption, mismanagement, and tyrannical oppression will continue. It doesn't matter whether it's Mnangagwa who is in power, or Chiwenga who is in power, or before him Mugabe who was in power. The dictatorship is more than the individual. The dictatorship includes even people like Geza here. He has played his part in rigging elections in the past. And no doubt, if he was to get his wish and have VP Chiwenga as the Zanu PF candidate, he will be at the forefront, mobilizing this Zanu PF vote rigging machinery to make sure that Chiwenga is president. All we are doing here is repeating the same thing. After 45 years of this Zanu PF dictatorship that has dragged the nation into the depths of this hell on earth of economic meltdown, political turmoil, and heartbreaking human suffering. We need to end the system and not waste time addressing trivial side issues of swapping one dictator and a few of those around him for another dictator. The problem is not the individual dictator. The problem is the system, the dictatorship itself. We're going to go out and demand change. Then we must go out to demand the dismantling of the dictatorship and not be content with the removal of one dictator only to replace him with another. That is the message that Zimbabweans should take home. Thank you very much. Have a good day.